Thank you, Chris. And for more, we're joined live by late news money man Scott Phillips, Chief Investment Officer at Motley. Good evening, Scott. Quite a change in fortune for Qantas, but can the airline keep this up?
Michael, good evening. That is the $64 question, or the $1.3 billion question, if you ask Qantas. Very much a case of a great few things happening at the same time. Firstly, there's more of us in the air than even pre-COVID, which is astonishing when you think about what we've been through in the meantime. Oil prices remain high, but prices are even higher. If they can keep those prices high and capacity remains constrained, that means fewer seats available for the rest of us, then yes, it's a very good outlook. If the airlines get a little bit less disciplined and they put more planes in the air, prices will come down pretty quickly, and with it, airline profits as well.
Now, Treasurer Jim Chalmers was at odds with Joe Biden today over the risk of a recession in the United States. Who's more likely to be proven right here?
Leaders are on a hiding to nothing, aren't they, when it comes to a recession? If you say, look, no, we're no chance of a recession, either you're called a liar or maybe you're pretending that things aren't the way they are. If you say, yeah, look, we'll probably have a recession, things will be tough, then you get accused of talking down the economy, and these can be self-fulfilling prophecies. I've got to say my 2 cents would be on Jim Chalmers this time around, and not just out of parochialism, but because I think the reality is the US is in recession now, even if Joe Biden doesn't want to admit it.
OK, then what about Australia? How does our position compare?
That is the other question, isn't it? Look, I think we're in a better position than the Americans, partly because our economy has been more moderate over the past 12 to 18 months. The Americans had a really strong year coming out of the worst of the COVID crash. And then, unfortunately, they've kind of nosedived back into what is likely to be a recession. Thus far, our GDP numbers are really strong. Despite inflation being high, GDP growth is over 3%. That gives us a little bit more headroom. I don't know we can avoid recession entirely if the US recession is long or deep, but we're certainly in a better position.
And finally, how are things looking on Wall Street?
The US market is very confident this morning, their time, this evening, our time, Michael. We are looking out for some inflation data out today in the US, which will determine how the market closes. But at the moment, the optimists are in charge. It looks like the market's going to open up more than 1%.
Scott Phillips, Motley. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Michael.